We now bring in basketball analyst Rivers Upchurch live in studio to help break down the ACC Championship and the first weekend of March Madness. Rivers?
Thanks, Kelly. Now, 2 weeks ago, Carolina fans were wondering if the team would be able to parlay the emotion of the big win at Cameron into any kind of postseason success. 3 nights in D.C. and a couple of cut-up nets later, and the undisputed ACC champion Tar Heels were suddenly the third most popular choice to win the NCAA tournament. Now, Carolina came out very flat in the first half against Florida Gulf Coast. Here you see some good ball movement from the Eagles as they end up with an open jumper to make it only a 3-point game. But Carolina picked up the intensity in the second half, and at the end of the day, it was just too much. Bryce Johnson. He finished with 18 points, 7 boards, and 8 blocks as Carolina cruised to a 16-point win. Now, that win made a little bit of history for old Roy. Coach Williams is now 26-0 in the first round of March Madness. That's the most ever wins without a loss in the first round of the tournament, and that's absolutely remarkable, especially considering how many upsets we've seen just in this first weekend alone. Now, the Heels started slow against Florida Gulf Coast, and they did the exact same thing against Providence. Here you see the circus shot by Cartwright, plus the foul from Nate Britt to give Providence the lead late in the first half. Maybe it was the late start time, I don't know. But the Heels are going to be in big, big trouble if they come out that flat against Indiana. Carolina was able to right the ship in the second half, though, and stop me if you've heard this before, but there was just too much Bryce Johnson. And I love the celebration from Joel James. That's right, Joel. He was eating. Feed the big dog. Carolina's headed back to the Sweet 16. Now, with those wins, Roy has now passed Carolina legend and his own personal mentor, Dean Smith, for the second most NCAA tournament wins of all time. In classic Roy style, though, when someone asked him about the record, he replied, "I'm nowhere near the coach that he is." Now, this team has been giving me some flashbacks lately. Let me tell you about those. Carolina has the best big man in the country in Bryce Johnson, an athletic freak coming off the bench in Isaiah Hicks, and a very reliable backcourt leader in Marcus Page. And who does that remind me of? The 2005 national champions, Sean May, Marvin Williams, and Raymond Felton. Tar Heel fans will remember them for helping Roy win his first ever national championship 11 years ago in April. But what's almost scary is the number of similarities between 2016 Bryce Johnson and 2005 Sean May. Both averaged 17 points per game, 10 rebounds per game. They were both second-team AP All-Americans, and at the end of the year, Sean May was named the Final Four's most outstanding player. Perhaps that lies in Bryce Johnson's future. But here's where the comparison gets really scary. Sean May was left off the 2005 first-team AP All-America team for a 7-foot Australian center for Utah named Andrew Bogut. Bryce Johnson was left off the 2016 first-team All-America AP team for a 7-foot Austrian center for Utah named Jakob Poeltl. Coincidence? I think not.
Wow, Rivers. Well, I guess we'll just have to wait and see if Bryce Johnson and the 2016 Heels can repeat history. Basketball analyst Rivers Upchurch, thanks.